Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2020 Ontario Time Attack e-racing series, Overtake the Apex, for the qualification race for event number 3. Overtake the Apex is presented to you by Ontario Time Attack. As Ontario's premier grassroots time attack series, we love driving anything from straight out of the showroom cars all the way to purpose-built track machines. Come out and race against the clock with us. Find out more at time-attack.ca, and don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Ontario Time Attack to keep up with our announcements. If you enjoy watching these videos, please help us out by giving us a like and smashing that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell button to be alerted of new content. Here's a quick video of what Ontario Time Attack is all about.
Time affects our lives, shapes our future, and defines our world. Every hour, every minute, every second. But in Time Attack, it's hundredths of a second that matter. Separating first place from the pack, the winner from the could-have-beens. Originating on the racetracks of Japan, Time Attack has grown into one of the most important and exciting motorsports available today. The goal is to set the fastest lap time on the racecourse using any vehicle, balancing engine power and reliability with driver skill and courage.
When you're in the car, the G-forces are phenomenal. You've got to balance the car properly. You're always pushing for that extra tenth of a second.
Ontario's premier Time Attack series holds events across the province each summer. Morning practice followed by competition runs all afternoon. 3 grueling time sessions.
We are on track with other cars, but we're not actually racing that car. We're always racing the clock. So you're out there all day, essentially to just bust off one really fast lap.
Each class has a technical spec, from stock street-legal cars to those with high-performance brakes and tires, all the way up to fully modified or prepped racing machines. With vehicle differences out of the equation, it's down to driver nerves and technique to seal the final outcome. Without distracting wheel-to-wheel competition, lap times are usually faster than the race divisions. But the biggest wow factor? When a racer lays down a lap time that not only beats competitors in his own class, but blows the doors off the classes above him.
A big part of it is the speeds you get up to. The back straight at Mosport, you're going over 200 kilometers an hour. When you get to that corner at the end, you know you got to take that corner to 140 kilometers an hour or you're going to be falling behind.
Every lap counts, every corner counts. Your laps have to be very consistent.
In Time Attack, you're always pushing, testing the car and yourself, like driving a never-ending qualifying lap. One mistake, and your time session's over in the blink of an eye. Time rules all of our lives, but on the track, it's your job to beat time. Are you up to it? Experience Time Attack. Breathe it. Live it.
Ontario Time Attack is proudly sponsored by Automoves, dependable vehicle shipping, Toyo Tires, driven to perform, NV Auto, build, tune, race, repeat, GRP, Johnson Research and Performance, Mobile One. With 20 years of supporting ODA, we could have made it where we are today without you, Mobile One. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And now for a quick public service announcement.
COVID-19 is a serious public health threat. All Canadians must act now to reduce the spread. Avoid crowded places and practice social distancing. Avoid non-essential travel and stay home as much as possible. Self-isolate if you may have been exposed to COVID-19. Stay connected with neighbors, friends, and family. When you take care of yourself, you take care of others.
A message from the Government of Canada.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us on the qualification race for event number 3. We currently have 20 drivers. They are currently doing their 30-minute practice session. There's currently just under 29 minutes left in practice. Let's hop in with. There are 20 drivers on the. Alright, welcome to the stream, folks. Tonight's event, again, is just a qualifying race. This is not the actual main event. We're currently on board here with Imoni Makalalad. Again, the folks, for tonight's race is actually, it's going to be run with currently in practice, followed by 15 minutes of qualifying, and then 15-minute race, number 1, and 15-minute race, number 2, which is going to be reverse gridded. The top 10 winners of tonight's event will gain, essentially, the top 10 seats into tomorrow's event. Due to overwhelming customer demand, we've had to change up our qualifying entry method. So what we did yesterday was we ran that server for 12 hours, and essentially in time attack, and whoever had the top 12 times would gain 12 seats. Those 12 will gain one of 12 seats into Thursday's main event. That leaves 10 seats left for tonight's race. So that gives a little bit of mix for people who want to do a time attack style event, essentially pure qualifying, or tonight where we get some wheel-to-wheel. That way, if you don't make it, at least you still get the chance to drive in a wheel-to-wheel race with other people from Ontario Time Attack. So we're currently, again, on board with Imani. Again, this is just practice, not... There's currently 20 drivers on the server, listed on the server. I don't necessarily know if all 20 are driving, but again, everyone's just practicing, getting used to the car, getting used to setup, getting used to the track. This same server conditions will be run for Thursday's event. So this is a good preview in terms of what you will see on Thursday. It's also a good way for the top 12 qualifiers from yesterday's event get some surveillance on their potential competition for tomorrow. So looks like Imani's slowing down for some reason. Let's hop on board with let's see, Daniel Kokar. Looks like Imani, the person that we were just earlier with, currently has the fastest lap in practice. Again, practice doesn't mean anything. But with a minute 49.235. Ooh, Daniel's losing it. Hey, going into the wall. Let's hop in with Jason Seeley while Daniel sorts out his car. Jason Seeley is currently sitting at 0.8, just under 0.9 seconds behind Imani. So just probably a $150. $150 something. The qualifying results from yesterday were pretty amazing. If you check out or follow us on Facebook or Instagram, we posted the results. In order to qualify with the top 12 times, people had to put in at least a high 49. So initially we were trying to predict and see what the barrier would be, and I had personally called out a mid 50, but I think the cutoff at the 12th position was, I think, a high 49. So some very fast folks showing up for tomorrow's race, or at least qualified for tomorrow's race. They might still drop out at Thursday's race. So we'll see. Again, the track for tonight is Monza. Very famous track, fastest F1 circuit in their calendar. So currently the drivers are on board with BMW Z3 GT3's race car. So popular demand, people voted for it. They wanted speed. They got speed. So the GT3 car is a base car, so it does come with the base Assetto Corsa pack. So No additional mods required. Going into the final turn, Parabolica. Very tricky turn because if you mess up the entry here, you'd really lose a lot of speed coming out of that turn. See how the turn unwinds? Essentially lets you put the power down. If you even lose a tiny little bit of time spent on gas, that's where you can essentially lose a race, folks, on this massive straightaway. Now turn 1 is really interesting. A huge passing zone. And you gotta make sure you nail your braking zone, because if you blow through that, that's a nasty penalty you'll get. Looks like there's a little convention of two cars happening on the side there. So Jason still hasn't beat his personal best. That was one lap around with him. Let's hop in with Michael Borbetto. Again, he's going to turn 1. Nice and gently slow. Maybe a little, might be having a new car and just warming up the car. Yeah, he's wiggling the car, so probably his outlap on his new car. Going to turn 3. Curva Biasono. Fast turn. Oh, he's slowing down for some reason. Again, folks, this is just strictly practice. Guys are just getting used to the car, the setup, and the track. This is mimicking the exact... Oh, and he blows through turn 5. Not sure what's going on there, but... Oh, we still got more people hopping in. There's 23 cars now. It's going to be a pretty wild track, folks. Let's hop in on board with... Again, this is not a race currently. There's going to be 30 minutes of practice, which we've got 22 minutes left, followed by 15 minutes of qualifying for grid position in race number 1, which is 15 minutes, followed by a reverse grid in race number 2. So folks should just be spacing themselves out, getting themselves used to the car. The top 10 finishers of tonight's race event will gain... Whoa! And almost gets taken out, but... Nope, Michael's managed to hold on to it. But it's actually the top 10 finishers of tonight's race will get 1 of 10 seats going into Thursday's main event race. Our driver should have the mod Helicorsa, which is essentially a track radar, a close-range radar to show folks what's around them for proper awareness. As we go down the main straight, Rettifilo Partenza, going to turn 1, that's going to be very tricky because it's a huge passing zone. It's a massive braking right here, and oh, Michael blows through it a little bit. So you can, as you can tell, like if you really blow your brakes, you can get past pretty easily there. I decided to get a new car. That's the wonderful thing about virtual racing, folks. Don't like it? Get a new car. Let's see who else is on here. Anthony Ho, on board with him, going through Curva di Lesmo. The beautiful thing about Monza is that you have to use the entire width of the track. Any little bit of curbing you don't use, that's essentially less opportunity for you not to hit the gas. And the later you hit the gas means the less speed you get on these long straightaways. So while everyone thinks about Monza being the fastest track on the F1 circuit, it's also a lot about finesse as well, because you have to use every ounce to get every ounce of speed. With every inch of the track, you gain every ounce of speed going on this long straight. So he's coming into the final turn. Typically in real life, the grandstands on the left will be packed with what the Italians call the tifosi, the fans. And going into the last turn, it is an increasing radius turn, so it's tight initially. And you can see the track opens up, allowing you to really hit the gas. And it's really a matter of who brakes late into that turn and who hits the gas earliest. When looking at our qualifying data yesterday, the top 12 drivers, I believe the 12th position was in the high 49s. So it's pretty crazy how much separated between the first place qualifying in terms of time and the 12th place. I believe the top qualifying time was a 48.5. Might be wrong, but again, if you want to follow us and get the instant details on our race series, please follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Our details are all posted there. On Instagram, we are Ontario Time Attack. Going into Rogia. Ooh, blows through it a little bit, but recovers. Again, there are 3 chicanes on this track, and all 3 of them behave quite similarly in terms of the left-right combo. A lot of them involve trying to outduke essentially the person next to you and who breaks last and yet still maintains the line out. All the chicanes will be extremely good passing zones, but also anytime you have a bottleneck like that, it's going to be a crash derby potentially as well. So we'll see what happens later on today. It might be a preview for tonight, for tomorrow. Some of you watching might actually be competitors who have qualified for tomorrow's race, so this is a good surveillance on your potential competition for tomorrow. Anthony's about to cross the start-finish line, so let's see. I don't think he's currently behind his pace. So again, folks, this is strictly practice. 15 minutes of... there's just about 18 minutes left in practice. Nothing matters here. It's just strictly getting used to the car, the track, and especially your fellow drivers. We'll then follow that up with 15 minutes of qualifying, and then 15 minutes of race number 1, and 15 minutes of race number 2, which is reverse gridded. Oh, looks like Lewis Elliott just had new personal best of hitting a minute 52. We'll sit in with him for 1 lap around Monza. Going to turn 1. Ooh, could have used more track out right. Again, see how late he hit the gas? That all translates to lost speed down turn 3. So again, folks, this is strictly practice. Everyone's just getting used to it, so. Going through another chicane, Rogia. Very nicely done. Someone's gone off track and letting him back on, perfect. Going through a second part of the Lesmo curves. Nicely, ooh, almost lost it there. Going down the Seraglio curve. This is not officially technically a turn, according to the official track map, but fans call it Curva del Seraglio. Now this is going to be interesting. Going into Ascari Variante, Variante Ascari, the Ascari chicane. Very nicely done. Going down the second last straightaway before the finish. Again, this is an increasing radius turn, so the turn is initially very tight to begin with, but it opens up very beautifully. So the question is, how early can he hit on gas? How brave is he going to hit the gas? So, due to Luis's turn 1 earlier, he does not appear. Oh no, wait! He still managed to edge out a new personal best. Shaved off just a little bit more at a minute 51.809. Let's hop in with Daniel Santibanez. Currently sitting in 6th in practice. Again, this is strictly practice. Guys are still getting used to their cars, the setup, and the track. He's certainly sitting at a minute 51 in 6th place. Going to Ascari, we talked about it earlier. Good exit, carried a lot of speed. Ascari is extremely technical. It looks like just it's really on how brave you can be going in and carrying as much speed while maintaining mechanical grip to maintain as much gas you can down this long straightaway. Here we go, going into Parabolica. Ooh, good gas, good gas. It looks like he's picking up a lot of speed coming down that straightaway. This might be a new personal best. Nope, just a little bit off. Let's follow him for another lap. Going into Getting ready for turn 1. Retifilio chicane. Oh, sorry. Variante chicane. Going to turn 3. Curva Bisibiasono. A little wide there. Possibly, again, more distance traveled. It's always the gamble there. Do you trade in more distance traveled? Do you really gain that much top speed? That might be an issue there. Going through Roja, fairly clean. Using all the curb. Going through the first part of Lesmo. The first part of Lesmo is the tightest part. There are 2 turns. The second turn is a little bit wider, so use more of the track. There you go. All of the curb. And going into the straightaway. Going in through one of the trickiest chicanes again. We talked about it. Ascari. Ooh. Bold move going over those humps. Trying to cut the course. And manages to go flat out for most of that. We'll see if this is a new personal best. Last turn, Parabolica, the famous Parabolica. Monza's signature turn. Tight initially. Ooh, may have missed his apex. Trying to power out through it. Let's see what happens. Ooh, again, not quite a new personal best. Still sitting at a... That was a minute 51.223. Alright, let's see. Hop in with Gerald Nemhard. He's coming on the main straight. This is a perfect opportunity to join in for a full hot lap. Again, Prima Variante is very slow, but really rewards you using the full track. And it looks like he still left a little bit of track there on the right. Let's see if that, how much that costs him on through turn 3 into 4. Going through the Roziak chicane. Ooh, a little wide there on the second right turn there. The second part of the chicane. It may have cost him some acceleration. Again, folks, for those of you just joining us, welcome to the qualification race for event number 3, which happens on Thursday. Tonight's race is strictly for 10 seats. A chance to get 10 seats into the main event. Oh, and Gerald puts it into the wall. Let's hop in with a different driver for now. Cesararo is still sitting in the pits. Let's hop in with Phil Oliveira. Oh, perfect timing. He's starting a new lap, so going into turn 1. It looks like he's still rubbing off the fresh, quote-unquote, rubber. So it must be an outlap or something. Yeah, again, folks, if you're just joining us, this is the qualification race for 10 to win one of 10 seats going into Thursday's main event. Tonight's stream is just fairly casual. It's going to be just watching these people compete for 10 spots. We've had to change up our qualification process because of the overwhelming amount of people trying to get into our series. Unfortunately, due to set of courses limitations, we can only handle 23 cars on track. So to give more people a chance to really just drive with us, what we've done is on Monday 12 noon to 12 midnight, we've opened the server up for the standard, essentially time attack style qualification. The top 12 times automatically gain a seat into Thursday's main event. For tonight's race, it gives you a chance to do some wheel to wheel, so you have the full schedule of the main event, which the driver is currently in, 30 minutes of practice, and then followed by 15 minutes of qualification, and then you're gridded for race number 1. And then after which you are reverse gridded in the finishing order of race number 1 into race number 2. And the winner overall for the whole night, essentially top 10 winners of the whole night, will gain one of 10 seats into Thursday's main event. So that's 12 plus 22. Sorry, 12 plus 10. That's your 22 drivers plus 1 sponsor seat as well. If you're looking to sponsor us, please check us out on Facebook or Instagram and message us. Ooh, Phil looks like he that didn't quite beat his best time, so Let's hop in with someone else. Let's hop in with Andrew Vernon. He is currently going into turns 4 and 5. Roja. Ooh, maybe gone a little too deep into the 4. Again, folks, this is just strictly practice. Nothing here really matters. So it's a good time for folks to play around with their alignment. Ooh, and he loses. He's lost it. Into the dirt. Alright, let's hop in with Aaron J. Perfect timing, starting a fresh lap. Going in through turn 1 and 2. Ooh, gone a little too far out. Now see how he had to go so far out and pull himself back in? He's lost a lot of time there on turn 3. Curva Biasono. Huge power down zone, so this will most likely not be his best lap. Going into 4 and 5, let's hop on board with him. Ooh, a little too deep again. Yep, that's going to cost him on time for sure. He's got someone behind him again, folks. This is not a race. So, yeah, he's got someone behind him. It's not a race, so... Currently on board here with W. Brooks. Oh, looks like he's decided to put the car in the sand pit and get a new car. Perfect. We can hop in with him for a new lap. Unless he decides to take a break, which I think he has. Alrighty. As our drivers leave the pits, just again, fresh cars at this point. This is where it starts to matter. Your top time is what matters, what counts in towards your gridding for race number 1 in tonight's essentially qualification race for Thursday's event. Better than his last attempt, so we'll see how he does in terms of a lap time. A minute 53, not bad for his second lap, or first full lap. All right, folks, times are rolling into the leaderboard. Oh, and Richard blows through turn 1. Let's hop in with Daniel Kokar, who is currently on the leaderboard. Oop, going to turn 1, a little bit of traffic behind Samuel Sousa. Makes the pass. Keeps it clean to turn 3. Might be a throwaway for Daniel since he had to pass someone, so it's still a good way to practice. There's still about 10 minutes, just over 10 minutes left in qualification. Plenty of time to put in at least 8 more laps. Ooh, may have gone a little bit too deep into Rogia. First part of Lesmo. Good apex. And using all that curve, that beautiful curve. Might have been a little tentative there on the gas on the exit. We'll see how he does. He's currently sitting at 4th place on the leaderboard for qualification time. Going down Saraglio into Ascari. Let's see how he handles this one. Very good entry. May have gone a little bit deep there. Fighting to maintain control there through the second apex, but keeps it clean and full throttle. Again, folks, he had to pass someone, so unfortunately that will affect his time here. Going to Parabolica. Ooh, I had a moment of doubt there when he had to pause on all the inputs to make sure he was going to make that turn. Minute 50.8, even though again he ran into traffic, so he still moves up to 2nd place on the leaderboard. Let's hop in with Jason Seeley going down Saraglio. May have ridden the rev limit a little bit too long there. Going to Ascari. Pretty clean. Everyone's just ignoring that bump there and just riding right over that speed bump. Doesn't seem to be doing too much damage to the car or affecting anyone's lap times. Going into Parabolica. Flat out through it. Beautiful. For some reason, his clock timer seems to be still counting up. Not sure what's going on there, folks. Might be a technical difficulty on his part, on the server part. We'll still follow him for... Actually, we'll hop in with... I believe it's Adrian Cesanaro. Going through... Roja? Yeah, Roja, turn 4 and 5. Oh, went in a little deep. It's very deceptive because it looks like you can brake. You still got more braking time, but you're coming in there at an extremely high rate of speed. So, but yet if you brake too early, coming out of the second part of Lesmo. Ooh, just oh no, he's into the grass. Oh, Jason Seeley just passed him. He's got Adrian's getting a new car. Let's hop in with Paul Todd. Coming down Saraglio. Going into Ascari. Let's see how he looks. Very clean. And good use of the curb on exit. He's chasing down Amar's Z. Is Amar's letting him pass? Again, folks, this is strictly qualification, so they shouldn't really be duking out wheel to wheel. There's just under 6.5 minutes left. Going to last turn, Parabolica. May have blown his entry a little bit. But he's back on the gas, trying to power out through that. See if Paul Todd gets a new personal best. Oh. Nope, I don't think he did. So, new laps counting up. Going into turn 1. Let's see how he does on the braking. Beautiful entry. Maybe a little tentative on the gas on the exit. Oh, it looks like the YouTube crowd is asking for Makalad. Ask and ye shall receive. Here we go. On board with Imani Makalalad. Sorry if I'm butchering your last name. He is currently coming down the final straight before Parabolica. So we'll have a full hot lap from him, as requested. Actually, funny thing is, while you say Imani is the fastest guy, our current fastest guy is actually Puchik, sitting at a minute 49.654. So he's currently not driving, but we'll hop in with him a little bit later. So here we go. Imani's about to start a new hot lap. Going down the front straight. Heavy braking into turn 1. Ooh, may have blown his apex a little bit on the first one. We'll see how that works out for turn 3. May have been affected by the traffic. There was someone stuck between turns 1 and 2, so that may have distracted him. Going into Rogia. Very clean entry. Second apex looks great, and he's already flat on the gas. Beautiful, chasing down Richard Ginn there from Radical Canada. Unfortunately, this is not going to be Imani's best lap because he's going to pass Richard. And Richard's letting him go. Oh, no, that was a little close. Going to Rascari. Beautiful full use of the curb on the exit. Whoa. There we go. Going to the last turn, Parabolica. Let's see how he takes that one. Beautiful entry. Back on the gas. Flat out. Unfortunately, this won't be his best laps because he's encountered traffic twice now, so. That was a minute 51, yeah, well off his pace. So we'll stay with him with another lap. Someone's on the chat. Shane Shepard is asking, a minute 49.6454 is currently our fastest in qualifying. So that's, I believe, Daniel Puchik. He's currently not driving, so that's currently our pole right there. Imani has put in some very hot laps though, so let's see if he can dethrone Daniel for that pole position. Again, folks, for tonight's event, what you're watching is we're currently got just over 2.5 minutes in qualifying for just tonight's event. What's happening is that due to overwhelming customer demand, we've had to split the main event, which is on Thursday's qualifying, the 2 nights. The first night yesterday, Monday, we opened the server between noon to midnight, and we essentially let everyone hop on, and the top 12 times would get one of 12 seats into Thursday's event. And tonight, essentially, is for everyone else that did not qualify from yesterday, get to race for one of 10 seats into Thursday's event. So you have a total of 22 drivers plus 1 driver from one of our sponsors for Thursday's main event. So this way, it gives everyone a chance to do some wheel-to-wheel even though they don't make it for the main event. And we are streaming it, so get a little bit of some of the action that happens on Thursdays. Oh, folks, I've been told by Connor O'Reilly that Imani's on a controller. If that's true, folks, that's some incredible controller action happening right there. I've seen it happen before on autocross. I've seen it happen on iRacing as well. It's a pretty damn good skill to be able to do this without wheel. Miles has just confirmed, yes, he is on a controller. So unfortunately, Imani is still not on pole. He did get I think a new personal best. He's now 0.1 seconds behind. I believe pole position driver Michael Puchik is currently on a hot lap. So let's take a look at him. He was sitting out for a while there, but may have seen Imani creep up. But we only have a minute left in qualification, so I'm not sure if Michael has enough time to put down a new hot lap. We'll see. 1 hot lap with Michael Puchik. Heavy braking into turn 1. Prima Variante. Ooh, oh, he blows it on the second turn. Yeah, no, that's probably it for him in terms of qualification best time. Daniel Santibanez puts in a minute 49.922, moving him up to 3rd. He was earlier sitting around, I think, 6th or 7th. So we do have some flyer hot laps coming in the last 8 seconds of qualification, folks. Oh, yeah, I think Michael Puchik is just giving up on that one. So anyone doing a last flyer lap? Michael Morbeto currently sitting in 4th. Let's see if he puts in a hot lap at the very end. We're currently in over. Oh no, he's backing off the throttle, so he's pretty happy with fourth. And the server's probably gonna switch over to race mode in just a second here. While we wait, quick word from one of our sponsors. Oh, Luis Elliott, for some reason, did not start and just causes a bit of a wreck. All right, folks, that's the end of race number 1. Let's take a look at our top 10 for now. So again, we're looking at Alex Chong as the winner, Michael Puchik in second, Paul Todd in third, Phil Oliveira in fourth, Randy Zimmer in fifth, Daniel Kokar in sixth, Cesararo in seventh, Samuel Sousa in eighth, Daniel Santibanez in ninth, and Jason Seeley in 10th. Aaron J in 11th, Mikey Lim 12th, W. Brooks in 13th, Cameron 14th, Michael Roberto 15th, Andrew Vernon 16th, Anthony Ho in 17th, and Richard Yin in 18th, and Gerald Nemhard in 20th. And last but not least is Laszlo Toth. So there's 40 seconds to go before the race starts. Quick word from one of our sponsors.
Since 1945, Toyo Tires has been making quality products. It doesn't matter where you go or what you do. There's a Toyo adventure for those who dare to dream.
Looks like those tires are well tested.
Hey Matt, let's play!
For your drive, dare to dream. Toyo Tires.
On board here with Daniel Sandoval is watching him chase down Alex Chong. Going into Ascari. Daniel keeps a very clean Ascari, but so does Alex. Folks, Daniel's only 0.4 seconds behind Alex, so this is definitely still up for grabs. Daniel tries to take the inside. Nope, unfortunately that did not work. Alex was already on the gas by the time Daniel was off the brakes. So they stay kind of hold orbit with each other, so nothing crazy happened so far. Let's hop in with Richard Yinnes. Oh, it takes the outside on Parabolica, but has to concede the inside to Cesnaro, who almost loses it. But, oh no, Richard! Ah, Richard loses it. Let's hop in with Paul Todd here, going down the front straight. He has Cesnaro in front of him, within sight, so going into turn 1. Both drivers keep it very clean. And exit clean. No gains, but no losses either. Cesnaro seems to have a better exit into turns 3, so he's starting to pull away ever so slightly on Paul Todd here. Keeping it clean through Roja. Again, both drivers being very, very careful not to lose the race. There's just over 6 minutes and 10 seconds left in the race. So still plenty of laps to be had and plenty of mistakes to be had. Going to the second part of Lesmo. Good curb use on the exit. Both drivers are, again, keeping it technically clean. Just over 3 minutes left in the race, folks. We're so far, Alex Chong is essentially pulling away from Daniel Santibanez. And so that's pretty much probably, or no, Daniel's right behind him, so might be catching up to him. We'll see, but Richard Gidden is still in the battle at 12th place, so he was climbing up as high as I think 7th, and then been dropping up and down, going up and down. So then you've got Randy Zimmer currently in 8th. Not much happening there. Our drivers have mostly spread out pretty much at this point, so the real battle is happening between Alex Chong and Daniel Santibanez, but Alex seems to be pulling away from him. There might be a battle between Richard Yin here and Phil Oliveira, so let's hop on board with them. Now it looks like Phil's actually pretty far ahead of him, but oh, Phil's overbraked, and so is Richard following him into Rosia. I'm not sure what's going on with. Not sure what's going on there between Phil and Richard. Michael Puchik has just moved up position past Samuel Sousa. I think Samuel might have had an issue going through Scari. Clean entry from Michael Puchik in through Parabolica. And pretty much, I'm pretty sure nobody's really behind him. Yeah, it's a pretty large gap between him and Sousa. Watching him go through turn 1. Got something, essentially pretty much everyone from 13th place down is pretty much spread out, so most of the action appears to be happening at the top 5 position here. Richard Newton is dropping as low as 15th. I'm not sure what's going on there. He either has mechanical issues but Andrew Vernon just passed him, so. So Daniel Santibanez is still within reach of Alex Chong. Let's see if he can make a move here. There's only 30-something seconds left in this race, so pretty much when Alex crosses the finish line, that will be the last lap. Let's keep an eye out for that one. Going to the Parabolica, Alex may have messed up the entry there. Oh, going way wide. Daniel shaved off 0.1 seconds on him, 0.2 seconds on him. So this might be that losing a race literally on the last lap, folks. So let's stay on board with these two. Alex going to break turn 1, and they're encountering traffic in terms of W. Brooks. Hopefully W stays out of the way, and he does. Still keeping it within that 1 second range behind Alex Chong. Daniel Santibanez is really trying to gain in on him. Going in through Rosia. Let's see what happens. Clean entry so far. Yep, by both drivers. Keep trying not to lose the race, essentially. Going through Lesmo. Might have been a little bit too eager there on the turn in. Using a little bit more than just the curb there on the exit. Good exit on the second part of Lesmo. In through Suraglio. But I believe Alex might be walking away slightly from him, so we'll see what happens through Ascari. Alex has been very good at keeping it clean. Let's see if Daniel can try to make some aggressive moves, but at the same time, you don't want to lose it either. We got a stray car. Oh boy. Okay, so Daniel unfortunately encountered traffic and most likely is not going to catch Alex Chong, but Parabolica might have a word to say about that. Last turn, folks. Daniel might have had a better entry, but unfortunately, the gap is just too big. Alex looks like he's going to finish. Yep, 1-2 right there. Michael Morbeto finishes third. Michael Puchik in fourth. And Paul Todd, I believe, that should be coming around Parabolka right now. Yep, there goes Paul Todd in fifth. And Cesararo in sixth. Randy Zimmer in seventh. Aaron J in eighth. And Anthony Ho finishing ninth. I believe that's Sousa. Nope, that's not Sousa actually. Sousa's still there. He is. Samuel Sousa in 10th. There's our top 10, folks. And that's the end of the race. Just a quick word from one of our sponsors.
All of those miles, all of those hours, the late nights, the planning, the preparation, they all come down to this. That one perfect lap. We'll build the car, you win the race.
For Mr. Alex Lee, Subaru Impreza,
NV Auto, building champions since 2010.
Welcome back, folks. So that's the end of race number 2 for essentially for tomorrow's to determine who qualifies into the event number 3, which happens on Thursday. We'll have to do some points calculations, but pretty safe to say Alex Chong has probably locked up a spot in there, finishing first in both races. So pay attention, keep track of us on Facebook and Instagram, and we'll post our results there. Thank you for joining us. Today was, again, just a qualifying race for event number 3, which happens on Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for watching. Hope you had fun. Please give us a like, smash that subscribe button, and hit the bell button to be notified of the next stream, which again happens on Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Please tell everyone about the stream and try to get as many people hopping on here as possible so we can just enjoy some racing and some good commentary while we are still essentially can't go to the real track in real life. Again, thanks folks for joining us. Hope you have a great and safe evening.